Welcome to the Accountability and Hopeful Fridays Friday session.
And by the way, that constructive feedback and so forth, that goes for me probably more than anyone else. I am not too proud to accept guidance and feedback on how I can continue to add value or maybe add more value or do things differently. Come at me right between the eyes anytime, 24/7. All right. So as Danny likes to say, and I agree with him, we believe in giving back to all of our members at no cost, right? So our sessions continue, our guest speakers continue, and we've got another one here in Jordan today. I think you guys are really going to like the energy and the vibe and the passion that you're going to get from him. We've had, and I got to check this number. I think now since we've got Jason, that should be 445. Right? In fact, well, you know what does I say? Because then if we've also maybe 446. So we're going to get close to 450 by the time this call is over in terms of the number of folks who have landed jobs. So let's keep that up. That is a great, great thing to celebrate. We've got that 3,000 plus. I think that number has been over. I was corrected last week and I haven't corrected the slide, but that number is higher, way higher than that. So let's keep building on that. I like this community a great deal, and I hope everyone does too. All right, Jordan, my friend, you have been very patient. You are sitting here with a lot to share. And so what I'll do is I'm going to stop physically sharing here in just a second and let you please, jump in and do your thing. The one thing I would like for you to do here is that little bubble you see there is as you're warming yourself up and joining us here, share one sort of insider knowledge that you've got for job seekers that could be helpful for them. Just one little tip or trick that maybe we haven't heard before, if you've got one. Jordan, you're on mute if you're talking at us.
Sorry. I think I'm going to cover a lot of it in my presentation, but I would just say the main one is have a servant mindset.
I can't disagree. I cannot agree and echo that more, by the way. So tell you what, the ball is yours to share, so please do. And Molly, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am totally loving the hex honeycomb pattern behind you. I love those. Those are nice. And you can move them around, right? You can kind of change it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's real. And thank you, 3M Command Strips, for making it completely dynamic.
Boom, 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 right?
Yeah.
A little pro tip on command strips. I found the hard way that they do every so often. They do give in just the scariest times. And it's not like someone breaking into my house the other night. It was just a picture losing its command stripness. So yeah, be careful, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So Jordan, I see your face. I think you've got a couple of pieces of content you wanted us to look at with you while you were talking, but the floor is yours.
All right, let me share. I just have one slide. I'm not here to provide any. I'm not usually on Teams, so sorry. Give me a second.
That's okay. I'm a Google Meet guy myself. Don't sweat it. Yep.
Where's my? Okay, there we go.
Loading.
All right.
There we go.
Can everybody see that? It says key takeaways.
There it is. Yeah. And what I was going to say, Jordan, if you run into a situation where you've got maybe a throughput issue for the time being, I will speak on behalf of the crew and say, if you need to turn your camera off so that you don't get jittery, please feel free. If you can leave it on, that's awesome too. So I see key takeaways, and it's waiting to populate. So.
All right, yeah. So I'll just click through as I get started here, but so I'm not going to present any technical skill. I'm not going to talk about resume or your LinkedIn, anything like that. But what I do want to share is, since I retired from the military about 4 years ago, just some real mindset shifts and really like rewiring that I've experienced, a lot of insights that I have learned throughout the process of my transition. And so I'm going to jump right into it. And the number one thing that I've learned is my computer not clicking the slides.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
There we
that
go.
one.
I don't know why
Right.
I clicked like 4 times, but yeah, embodying selflessness. Like I mentioned, as far as the one thing to share is being a servant, because whenever we are in any sort of transition, especially when it involves a job, why do we need a job? Well, of course, to pay the bills, right? So we can very easily be focused on ourselves and what we need versus what we can offer. Whenever I was transitioning out of the military, I went through a great curriculum, and one of the speakers they had in the curriculum, a guy by the name of Joe Sweeney, he talked about networking. And he pretty much said, he might even have a book that says it, but he said networking equals giving. And I never heard it really put that way before, but it's so true. And giving implies that we're serving, right? We're not taking, I saw it on a slide earlier, give more than you take, right? Giving implies that we're serving. We have a selfless mindset, a selfless attitude, and we're seeking to serve. And serving requires us to be selfless. That's the number one thing, is to embody selflessness. Embody it in your attitude, your approach, your mindset, your countenance. Embody selflessness. The second thing is understanding the true essence of business. That's something that a career in the military, it seems simple, but I didn't really pick this up until recent years. And really, most of you probably know what's the real essence of business? Well, it's solving a problem, right? It's providing a solution to somebody's problem. And in order to do that, it requires us to be constantly learning, knowing, understanding, really obsessing about that problem that we're looking to solve. Right? And that requires us to be situationally aware. And arguably, going back to the first point, situational awareness requires us to be selfless. It's going to be very hard to understand someone else's problem, understand the situation they're facing, if we're more concerned about ourselves and our situation than we are about theirs. And when I think about that, the whole idea of business, the true essence of business is solving someone else's problem. It's very easy, I think, to just go right back to, well, that's a entrepreneur or business owner type mindset, or, you know, the CEO, the executive type of level mindset. But as I was thinking about this short presentation, I really started thinking about at all levels of employees within any sort of business, when they can have that mindset of what solution to what problem are they best positioned to offer, I think that's going to produce a very healthy culture. And that's going to get the right people in the right positions with the right strengths to solve those problems. And so whether you are in that, you know, entrepreneurial type space, you're at the top of a business, or you're looking for a job, you're looking to be an employee underneath an employer, the best way to go about starting that process, the best way to enter into interview or other sorts of conversations is to focus on how best are you positioned to solve a problem. One, a problem that you are passionate about solving because you recognize the strengths that you have, the experiences that you have, the capabilities that you have. And then my last point is to offer your value based on your worth, not your resume. And I say that because it's very easy to get tunnel vision on what our resume shows. Our resume shows all the things we've accomplished. It shows our capabilities. But it's really only a door to a conversation. Okay, and though I've never been on the side of, I just actually hired an administrative assistant for part of what I do is leading a counter human trafficking mission, and I hired a administrative assistant to help me, with some of those tasks, things that I can do, but I'm not as savvy as somebody that is really their strength and it's their passion, right? A lot of us can probably learn very easily to do the things with spreadsheets and do your typical administrative tasks, but some people, one, they just love it more, or two, they're just wired and they just have an extreme strength and capabilities in that. What I'm talking about is your worth, and that is something that each one of us, it's very easy to have like a imposter syndrome type of thing, to where, I'm not the right fit for that because I'm not capable of X, Y, and Z. But when we focus on our worth based on our unique design, again, the strengths that we bring to the table, the passions that we have of the problems that we want to solve, we are going to find the right job, and the employer is going to want to work more with us whenever they see we're truly passionate about solving that problem for them than just seeing somebody that with a good looking resume. Again, the resume is going to open doors, is going to open conversations. But when we approach those conversations from a foundation of our worth, and we're able to provide a value based on that worth, I think we're going to be in a lot better position for job opportunities. So with that, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to share. I hope that was valuable. I wanted to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, so I hope I did that. And I hope you take away these three specific points that I shared with you, and how you look for job opportunities. And for those of you that just got a job opportunity or just landed one, things that you'll remember as you continue to serve and solve problems in that job. And I'll just leave my email for you, and you're welcome to reach out and contact me anytime. Of course, I dropped my LinkedIn in the chat earlier. So with that, I'll stop sharing my screen.
Well, leave it. Go ahead and leave it up if you don't mind, because we may want. That's okay. Let's put it back up, because folks may want to refer to bullets 1, 2, and 3 or what have you during the Q&A part. And since I've got the leadership baton, if you will, I'm going to steal first ask. So, and everybody else, definitely get your questions out there. Throw up your hands, and I'll try to catch you in the order that you put your hand up. I want to kind of ask you, Jordan,
Shall I stop recording? Shall I stop recording?
I'm trying to remember if we, go ahead. I can't remember forgive me for not remembering the magic cutoff. I think so. Yeah. So thank you for that, Jimmy.